John Young with the Weekend Handyman. Today we're going to be putting together a Polar Tuff roof rake here, a little plastic roof rake, and then we're going to be going out and cleaning off some solar panels. Now, Polar Tuff from Yoho, Y-O-H-O, they make two different versions. They've got one that has a plastic blade and one that has kind of a poly blade, and then they have a metal blade one. I'm going to be using this. I bought this specifically to clean solar panels that are up on the roof of this building. So I did not want to have metal because when you're working with solar panels, first off, most of the time you leave the snow on. But when I take the camera out there and show you guys, you're going to see that there's a lot of snow up there because it drifted in over that. And I want to clear off the bottom as far as I can reach, basically. So then that will start to create electricity, that will create heat, and that will help melt the rest of them off. So hopefully by the end of tomorrow, they will melt out. A couple of things. Today, I started at 20 below zero here in Minnesota, and it's about 10 below right now out there. So I've got to be really kind of careful with this. Again, poly rake, I don't want to be banging or anything. I just want to carefully pull off as much snow as I possibly can, but I have to be very careful. Not that the solar panels can't take a bang. A branch can fall on them, people can walk on them. You know, as they told us when they installed them, my wife and I could go up there and dance on them and jump up and down, and they wouldn't do much of anything to them. So they're pretty durable, but I don't want to scuff them, I don't want to scratch them, and I don't want to, obviously break them. So that's what we're going to use this for, the Polar Tuff roof rake. Now, it's really kind of a simple process here to put it together. We've only got a couple of, everything's kind of zip tied together, and I'm going to use my little, this is actually really kind of cool, little Craftsman dual blade utility knife. One is a traditional, let me show it to you, traditional blade. And there's two little handles here, two little switches. The second is a hooked one. It really works well for opening up packaging and such. You know, that stuff you got for Christmas that was in that little bubble plastic? Yeah, this is that. That frustration-free stuff was very frustrating. Because this will cut that, and yet it's got a little bit of a hook to it, so it's not going to be quite as dangerous. So here's our little angle neck. Set that over there. And the blade itself. And I think I'm done with Mr. Utility Knife. Anyway, check that out. Lowe's, Craftsman, tools. Check them out there. So it's a little poly, a 24-inch poly scoop on that. And we've got our little piece here for, there, pushed in and turned to click. A little bit tougher than it probably should have been because this was stored actually in a garage. That wasn't quite 20 below this morning, but it was pretty cold. And then we have the extension that will extend up to 25 feet is what it says. So we'll find out in here in just a little bit. But if you take a look at the end of it, it's a little pin and a little groove system. So when it's warmed up, it will be a quick attach system. But it's kind of chilly right now. A little more difficult than I thought it was going to be, partially because it was plastic, partially because it's cold, and plastic and cold together make it a little more difficult. Extending, we just have to tip these. To extend this, all we have to do is push the little trigger button here, and we can extend that. And there are different holes, and it will eventually catch in one of them. There we are. And we can extend it all the way out. Let's see if we can overextend it. Let's see if there's a stop. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so there it is. There is a stop. Yay! So we can't just go zoom right on out. Okay, I think we're ready to go here. Let's take this outside and see what we can do up on the roof. Okay, so now here comes the fun part. We have solar panels. This whole roof is pretty much covered with solar panels, and I want to be able to clean the bottom off. So I'm going to extend my poly rake here. Now, you're looking at our last snowstorm. Basically, we had nothing for snow here until just a few days ago. And we had about 10.5 inches here. And because we're out in the middle of a kind of a farm area, a lot of snow drifts in here from 80 acres open and on basically every direction. We're gonna go try to pull some of the bottom off. I have no idea how well this is going to work. You're gonna get to see it with my 25-foot poly snow rake, or snow, whatever. Now, one thing that happened with this particular storm is the very first part of the snow was very wet and heavy, and actually some of it was melting because it was 32, 33, 31 degrees when it was falling. So we have probably a layer of ice on there, which is not going to help the situation whatsoever, but I want to get some of the snow off, and we may not get all the way down to the solar panel. That's just the way it is. And I want to make sure when I'm going up and putting this down that I'm not banging on the solar panels, and I'm kind of softly placing it on there before I pull the snow down. Well, I guess that answers our question of how durable this is. It broke, and as you can see from the video, as I was doing that, it wasn't like I was hooked on anything. So, wow, really kind of disappointed with that. Anyway, well, there's my demo video on this. Unfortunately, I didn't get very far. This is John Young with the Weekend Handyman. Kind of disappointed here in Minnesota. Thanks for watching.
For more tips and how-to videos, go to weekendhandyman.com.